Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everyone is blessed, safe. This is Rodney Grimes, PTP, people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I was on yesterday and we was talking about the mass. The mass was a very, very good conversation. I started to do a follow-up and talk about I talked to an individual who is a good friend of mine, and we were talking about the genie in the bottle, which was referring to God. But I'm not going to do that today because God put something else on my spirit, and I got to follow. What I do is I pray, and then I ask God just to let me know what I should talk about. So one of the things that really been bothering me is how people respond to me, my actions, the things that I do. I'm talking about my kids, my nephews, my nieces, my family, sisters and brothers, my mom, my co-workers. And I was thinking, what is it that causes people to do positive and negative things? And so while I was in the shower, I'm talking to God, and God said, Rodney, action causes a reaction. And then I started thinking about my childhood. And I was thinking about how I was raised and the things that I'd done and seen. So then I start to realize that people respond to you based on your actions, things you do, and how you treat them. Most people would look at me as the type of person, they say I'm a nice guy. I believe so. I've always been an individual who tried to do something productive, and I've never been afraid to take a chance. And so that comes from my upbringing and people that has been around me before, and that was like my mom and my grandmother. Mainly my grandmother, and then I thought about my children. So I guess my point I want to get you to think about today is how you act, the things you do, they will cause people to treat you a certain way, and also they'll cause younger people to grow up a certain way as well. Okay? Your actions cause a reaction. When I was growing up, my father smoked cigarettes and my mom, right? And at one time, I remember that my brother used to smoke, my older sister, both my sisters, and I did too. My baby sister didn't, not that I know of. But I realized that we had picked up the cigarettes, and that came because we saw them doing it, and we saw cigarette packs laying around and whatever. And I only can speak for myself because I used to take a cigarette here and there and try to light it. And I started at 9 years old trying to mimic what I was seeing. And when I'm talking about an action causes a reaction, it was the actions of my parents on some of the things that I had developed as an adult or growing into an adult that I started doing. And so I say that because some of the things that you do is going to cause people to react a certain way. Now, let me get back to that. So my mom quit smoking a long time ago. And my mom quit smoking, and my brother, he quit smoking. And then I quit. And what I realized, and I thought about this in the shower, I was like, you know something? Now, out of my 3 biological children, none of them smoke cigarettes. And the reason why they don't is because they never seen me do it. I didn't have that around them. Well, you know what's funny? My oldest son, he loves to travel. My oldest son was in the music business as well. He can sing his butt off. He don't do it now, but he can. My daughter, baby girl, Nika Lynn, a.k.a. Baby Girl, she is a phenomenal writer and a hell of a performer. Still doing things here and there. And my son, Monte, he is just phenomenal when it comes to just making things happen. When he puts his head in it, he goes 100, right? All of these things my kids saw me doing, which was actions. And so they picked him up. So my point, what I'm saying is that if you do things around people, especially younger people, they're going to respond and they're going to be in a reaction based on your action. If you're using profanity all the time and always being rambunctious, then you're going to find out that they're going to be the same way. But if you're humble and you're praising God and you're trying to be a good person, then they would do that. I got a very, I hope I don't get in trouble for throwing his name out, but he's another person who was like really somebody I used to pay attention to growing up. His name Andy Evans. A lot of you might know him. Andy was always a smooth guy, always doing things different. I know he's written probably a couple of books, and also I've known him to be a motivational speaker as well, and doing some few other things. But because of his actions, I know his daughter, and I know his sons. You know that their demeanor is like his in a way. I mean, they're very creative with their dialogue and the way they do things or whatever. And I only use that. I hope I didn't get in trouble for that, because I really admire the man. And me and his daughter are very good friends, which at sometimes she used to really motivate me to pursue my goals and stay in to doing positive things. And this was based on actions, which got reactions which were positive, that moved me in where I am today. From some of the things that I've done in the past, I look at that affects my kids, and I see why my kids are doing what they're doing today. Both of my sons started their own business. They are at a little stalemate point, but they're making it happen. My daughter is still in the music business, doing things here and there. She might call me and I'll find out she's in Atlanta or New York or California. And those are from things that I did in the past, those actions that caused these reactions. So what I'm saying to you, if you want to see changes around you, your actions will get the reactions that you put out. If you're going to be negative, like if you moved into a neighborhood and every time that you came out the house and you didn't speak to your neighbor, then the neighbors around you ain't going to speak to you. They're not going to say nothing to you. I moved in the neighborhood and I was out changing the outside and I started helping them. And I got quite a few neighbors that they really are really nice to me because I was nice to them from my action. I got that reaction. What's happening with what I'm doing right now? This is my action, that I am trying to do something positive, which I will continue to do. I don't care if it's just one person that tunes in with me. I'm going to continue to do this because I know that the reaction may be something that's going to help them to do something positive. So your actions, they really are important. If you have children, no matter how old they are, and they are around you, and you are being selfish, you're being deceitful, you're not networking with the people that you should be, you're going to find that your kids will be the same way. This is just because with an action, you get a reaction. And they're going to react to what they see. This goes with everybody, even on your job. If you're a supervisor or you're a manager or you're the director or you're the head super person in charge, you know what? If you're deceitful and you're not doing things to build a good relationship with your staff, everybody's going to be all over the place because of the action. And the reaction is going to be based on what they get. If you pick up this on a regular, this is the Holy Bible, and you read this on the regular, and your grandchild see you with this book, believe me that they'll pick it up too because of your action. My grandmother told me when I was young, she said, whenever you're in trouble, Rodney, always say, the 23rd Psalm. Okay? And it was just so funny. I just got off the phone with one of my cousins, Johnny Shepherd, and he was telling me about, you know, the 23rd Psalm, how important that is, that we keep that with us. An action gets a reaction. By him planting the seed, he just planted the seed. The reaction is that I brought that up again. So what I'm saying, I'm not going to be long-winded. I just want to tell you, you know, if you're in a relationship and you want it to work, you got to put, your actions got to be positive. Your actions got to be given. Your actions got to be supportive. Your actions got to be where you are actually doing something to make the reaction be positive. That's very, very important. If you have a child around you and every time they do something bad and you say, you are so bad. You are so bad. You're so hard-headed. That's what they're going to be. Bad and hard-headed. Because the action that you give is going to cause a reaction for them to respond and say, you know what? Well, they say I'm bad, so I might as well be bad. Or they'll believe it. It is very important that what we give, no, you're going to get back. One way or the other. I'm trying to change. I'll be 60 years old in a couple of months. And I've come to a point where I'm thinking about my actions so much that it's important that the reactions are positive, because I know I'm not promised tomorrow, and I don't want to be in a situation where the things that I've done that it didn't help anybody. What I want is to fulfill my goals, my personal dreams, and to be a positive influence on others, and to help people move forward in a positive direction. I've always been that way. I've been that way ever since I was a young kid. I get along with everybody pretty much. I mean, I don't tolerate no nonsense. I'm not the one that I would think that you would want to tamper with much. But that's just the way I was brought up with the actions. The actions, Ma always said, hey, they hit you, hit them back. That was the action. If they hit me, then the reaction was to hit them back. But now where I'm at is the action is to stay positive. Positive. That's what I try to do. That give a positive action. So that's what my conversation is about today. Yo, your actions is going to get a reaction. If you want negativity, then keep doing negative things, because that's what you're going to get. And if you believe in the Lord, you believe in God, then you're going to know that you're going to have to be responsible for your actions, because there will be a reaction. What goes around, come around. What you put out is what's going to come back. I promise you that. And what you got to think about is how you treat people. Because your children are watching you. Your grandchildren are watching you. You know, we have some grandchildren that's 3, 2, 4, 10, soon to be 11, 12, 13. And I'm going to tell you something. When they see how I act as their grandfather, I'm very assertive, and I'm very, I don't do crazy stuff around them. So I know that my actions is going to plant a good seed with them. When we sit at the table, I make sure they bless their food. Action. So now when they sit down and they know they sit down with me, guess what the reaction is? Oh, they put their hands up, or I'll look at them and they'll say, oh, I said my prayers. We get the action, get the reaction. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Let me tell you something. People to people, that's me, you, and them. The actions of others will get a reaction from others. My actions will get a reaction. Not all the time do I get the reaction I want, but I get a reaction. And sometimes it's a negative one. And that's okay. It's your prerogative. You can like me or dislike me. That's up to you. But my actions, what I do, is what I got to live with. Power to power, let me tell you something. Power of prayer, I continue to use that to help me move forward every day. I believe strongly in prayer. And I pray for my enemies. I pray for my loved ones. I even pray for God. I pray for God too. I pray that he don't be disappointed with us. And positive thinking people, that's all of us that's trying to do something positive. Giving a positive reaction or a positive action and getting a positive reaction. Remember that. Hey, this is Rodney Grimes, people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. My action is that I love you. I care about you. And I'm trying to do the right thing. And before I close, know this. Let's take this opportunity to get to know our family members or the ones that that you're locked in with. Know their wants, their needs. Understand what their desires are. Take this time to get into the Word. Really get in the corner and read the Bible by yourself and get some meditation time to pray. When it's just you and God. You'll see some amazing things that will be revealed to you. And don't take it lightly. Because I'm gonna tell you something. God is in control. I know this is something. I'm not afraid. I'm just being cautious, and I'm being smart. I'm not gonna be touching everybody because I don't want to die from this. I really don't. And I don't think nobody else do. But like I say, your actions get a reaction. If you don't pay attention to what's going on, the reaction could be something deadly. God bless you. This is Rodney Grimes, PTP. People to people, power to power, positive people. I love you. Hope to talk to you later. I don't think I'm going on tomorrow. I'll probably come back on Monday. And I'll see you then. Everybody, please be safe. Wash your hands. Wash your face. And don't take it lightly. And keep praying. Talk to you.